Welcome back to AFTV. Welcome to full time. Sorry we're a bit late. Fan camps and stuff being recorded, all that will be out on the channel very, very soon. But thanks for joining us. We're looking forward to breaking this game down and getting your thoughts. That is the point of this show. It is FanZone. Download the AFTV Plus app. Links in the description below. Sign up to FanZone. Very easy to do. All free as well. And you can just jump on and give us your thoughts on the game. That's what we want to do. You've got the match that's up there. 15 shots to Everton's 8. 5 shots on target each. We had 74% possession. I mean, the possession was never really an issue. Pass accuracy was a bit wayward. I think that 87% was creeping up and up and up from probably about 75% from about the 20th minute onwards. But Arsenal got better and better as the game went on, especially in the second half. Let me read something to you, Frank.
Yep.
I've got this lovely app, Stats. It's called StatZone. I love it. It's just anything I need on the game, it'll tell me. By the 70th minute, so you can pick portions. So I go from minute 0 to minute 70. We'd had 6 shots. Everton had 6 as well.
Yep.
We'd had 2 on target. They'd had 3. We had all the ball. We were completing passes, all that. If I just go past the, I think, 71st minute when Odegaard scored, that was our 7th shot of the game. Our 3rd on target. So when I'm tweeting things like, the Leicester performance merited far more than the 1-0 win we got in terms of the dominance. But the Everton performance, for me, 4-0, it doesn't really flatter us because in the end, we actually missed loads of chances, like Vieira, Smith Rowe, Trossard and Ketia all missed big chances.
Martinelli missed a few as well.
Could easily have been.
Could have
easily have had a 5 or a 6 on the scoreboard today. But actually, let's not do the whole kind of recency bias thing. Looking at the full 90, it really took to the 70th minute for Arsenal to really get into full flow. The possession was a lot better in the second half because Partey came on, but the chance creation didn't really click till that 3rd goal.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm glad it happened against Everton because you do that against another title contender, for example, Man City. Don't really want to put them in the picture, but Manchester United. You perform like that up until the 70th minute against those kind of teams, you're possibly already 2-3-0 down by that point. So I'm glad that we've got that performance out of the way, and it's definitely our worst performance of the season in terms of those first 70 minutes. So I'm glad we got it out of the way when we did.
I think in terms of chance creation, that might have been Everton away was bad. Everton away was bad. But yeah, I mean, Brentford at home, I didn't feel like they just defended brilliantly.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's a weird one. Look, we won 4-0, and so a lot of this video is going to be absolutely positive. I just wanted to address how the game started because Arsenal play with 2 centre-backs. Now, every player in the Arsenal system has to be able to be good, good on the ball, dependable in possession, in tight areas, near goal, up the pitch, wherever they might be. But 3 in particular, you got Saliba and Gabriel, and then the 3 in front that kind of the deep-lying playmakers of this team that kind of set things off as Zinchenko, Partey, and then White sometimes tucks in too.
Yeah. And
all 3 of them were having the worst first 20 minutes in possession I've seen for a long time from all of them. Now they got better. They absolutely all got better. But not Partey, sorry, Jorginho, not Partey. But that set the tone for what was a very scrappy, bitty kind of up and down nothing game, where Arsenal looked really frantic. Like I said, I never questioned commitment, but there was a frantic nature to Arsenal.
No, absolutely. Like I said in the middle of the stream as well, it was just, we were just trying to be too fancy, too eccentric. It wasn't working out at times. We was going long when we didn't need to go long. And I've said it multiple times now, but I just want to reiterate the point that sometimes it's just better to play the simple options.
Yeah, I completely agree. Then, they had a few moments, Everton, as the game opened up. Sort of a shot here and a couple moments. I mean, I think there were 1 or 2 moments across the game where we thought they could easily have put that in the back of the net. But there were few and far between. In fairness, it was. I think of like the McNeil shot, the Davis one at the end. I think there was something in the first half.
The Mopai one where they just gave him too much space and Ramsdale sort of palmed it out.
In fairness, that wasn't that dangerous a shot, but. Yeah, I feel like there was something else in terms of an opening that. It was when Gabriel had to come across. Remember when Saliba went to press and then Gabriel had to come across and get a block on Mopai?
Yeah.
That felt like a big block in terms of what could have happened there. So Everton had their moment.
Yep.
I thought Gabriel's immense, by the way. We'll go through the players individually 100%. In a bit. I think Xhaka was the only other player who could really hold his head up high from that first half in terms of what he did across the 45. But goals take moments. You don't earn goals. You know, football isn't. Imagine this was a score system in football. Oh, well done. You've had most of the possession in the last 10 minutes, so we're going to give you a point.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't work like that. You have to put the ball in the back of that net, and that goal is a single moment in that game. And Bukayo Saka delivered it from a Zinchenko pass. So you could be playing the best football of your life. You could be playing part of the bus football. But that one moment from a throw to a touch, a threaded ball and a goal is just brilliant from Zinchenko and Saka, and well played to them.
No, absolutely. And do you know what? I actually want to apologise to Bukayo because I feel like I took away from the goal a little bit in terms of what I said
because
about
of the Pickford moment, right?
And I'll reiterate the point. He should be getting beat at his near post, but I don't want to take away from the Saka goal. It's an excellent finish. Again, on his weak foot, Thierry Henry-esque. He mimicked Thierry Henry with a celebration, and you just love to see it. And then not long after that, you had the Martinelli one. Similar situation. He's nicked the ball, and it's a near post finish.
But that's another moment, right? You know, Arsenal weren't playing brilliantly, but if Gana Gueye is taking time on the ball and dallying on it, and Saka goes, all right, I'll nick this.
Yeah.
And Martier goes, brilliant. I'm 1-on-1 with Pickford out of nothing and slots it back of the net. You know, that whole thing is, it's just players. And this is why, and I know I'm repeating myself. For anyone who watched the whole watch along, the halftime show, you'll be sick of me repeating myself. So apologies. This is for everyone who didn't see before. But this is why I'm always very, very careful about where I portion my criticism or where I deliver it. Could easily, you know, before that Saka goal, said awful performance, we're playing terribly, we don't look up for it, blah 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 blah. I disagree. I thought the players absolutely did look up for it. They weren't trying. It was just frantic. But when you're trying and when your heart is in the right place and the intent is there, you've always got a chance. And Saka just through sheer intent and want nicked that ball back and got us a goal.
Absolutely, and you know, it's not just Saka. I don't want to just look at Saka in this one. I think that says a lot about the team this season because it just shows that we're not giving up.
No, I agree.
Like a couple of seasons back, players wouldn't have even challenged for that ball. But you know, Saka's got the right mentality. It's infecting the squad. That's this mentality of just not giving up, fighting till the very last minute, and it's benefited us in that situation.
Massive. Do you think Arteta got stuck into them at half-time?
Definitely, and I think
absolutely.
You know what? I know
think he did?
100%, and I think that sort of signals the Jorginho change because he must have been ripping into him. Because him specifically, he was having a stinker of a game, and I think I feel sorry for Jorginho because he was playing so well in the recent games, and I think this sort of takes away from it a little bit in the fact that it could have cost us. Thankfully, it didn't. Partey came on, changed the game massively, so I feel quite happy for Jorginho.
Jorginho is, purely by nature, which is no criticism of him at all, but because he can't do anything about this, like he literally cannot do anything about this.
No, of course.
He is a controller, and I know you're going to be thinking, okay, but in a frantic game like that, isn't he the one that's meant to instill the control and the calm? Yeah, to a degree, that's absolutely true. But the game was so frantic and open. He's playing against a really physical, dynamic midfield three. He's playing with players either side of him that were not safe in possession, and things weren't really happening for the whole team. That the game was just kind of it was just passing him by, really. Like he just couldn't really, and he was no worse than other players.
No, of course.
But he was also not the one kind of calming things down. And what I like about Arteta was Jorginho, really probably 4 or 5 players could have been taken off at half time.
Yeah.
But I think he recognised that Partey had the ingredients to come on and not only just keep the possession thing going, but also just settle the game down like by physically imposing himself. So whenever Toure pressed or Onana, he went, yeah, cool, whatever, and just nice, like clever touch, he's round you, and the game opens up. And they kind of tire by thinking we can't keep up with this guy, not just for what he does on the ball, but his legs as well.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a smart change. And there's no better position to deliver a message from than a position of power, authority, and almost like victory as well.
Yeah.
Like when you're losing a game and you're going in on the players can, I can imagine there's always that sense of like, you know, self-reflection and frustration with the performance. But when they're almost kind of delighted to be winning, oh, we're 2-0 up, oh, I just scored, you scored, how great is that, blah, blah. And Arteta goes, hold on, what the fuck was that? Like, that is, I think, the best time to deliver a message like that and remind the players of their standards.
No, absolutely, and I think I'm really kind of hoping that Arteta did give this kind of message in the dressing room, because it takes a championship mentality to, you know, not play fantastically but still win the games. And I think Arteta understands that, and he would have really let them know going back into that changing room.
I mean, Phil says Jorginho was unwell. Watch the chat. Sorry, Phil. We're trying to have we'll get to your chat. You see, I've spotted that, and now we're talking about it.
There you go.
Okay, fine. If Jorginho was unwell, he was unwell. I mean, that can happen. Xhaka came off against Wolves unwell. He thought he'd be all right and he wasn't, so that can happen. That might explain the bad performance.
I think it's quite a risky move starting him if he was unwell, though, in my personal opinion.
It might have just come in the match. But I think the one thing I'd say is I don't think that changes how I feel about that first half and how Arteta would have gone into them. I think he still would have said that first half, well done. You scored 2 goals from 3 shots, but that's unacceptable. We were ridiculing Leicester. Well, I was laughing at the fact that Leicester had 1 shot the whole game against us. 3 shots at home to 18th place isn't looking much better, really. No, but fair play, they did really well. Now, a few people are saying, what have we got? Someone said, you guys are nuts. We literally destroyed Everton. That's from Sky Touche. In the last 20 minutes, we destroyed them.
No, 100%.
I mean, the first 70, we had way more of the ball. Same amount of shots, and let's be honest, that Saka chance, it's a brilliant finish, and then that Martinelli goal is an error. It's not like we beautifully created. It wasn't until that 3rd goal that Arsenal just carved them open. Fair enough, you could probably say that first goal, it's a Zinchenko pass to Saka, but even that finish is world class. It's world class to beat Pickford from there. The near post high. I know you're critical of Pickford's involvement.
Do you know what? I think this just shows personally that Pickford needs to be underneath Aaron Ramsdale in his England selection now, to be honest, because for the first 2 goals, I think he can do a little bit better. Aaron Ramsdale had a fantastic game today, and I think that's a statement performance to Gareth Southgate personally. Yeah, Dave Jordan, I see you having a pop at me in the comment section. Fair enough. You always turn up though, so what can I say? James, I don't think you're putting how Everton's set up into context, says Kevin. I mean, maybe like they might have dropped, been really organised, had a good deep shape, and I hear that, but so did Newcastle when we created chances, so did Brentford and we created a few chances, especially in that second half. If we want to be honest about Arsenal, the easiest thing in the world is for anyone to sit here and go, we won 4-0, we must have been amazing. Yes. And then we won 1-0. And I saw the headlines, not from Arsenal fans, but I saw the headlines, we beat Leicester. Ooh, nervy win for Arsenal. Ooh, 1-0 win, they got over the line. They did what champions do. Well, we battered Leicester. Absolutely.
We battered them. It was comfortable. Way more comfortable than this, I think, for long periods of the game. Apart from the fact that we were 2-0 up earlier, but you get my point. But that 2-0 up came out of absolutely nowhere. Like I said on the stream, it was a moment of madness, and it was like a magic trick in the way it came out of nowhere. So I think the 2 goals is actually quite flattering going into half-time, personally. Everyone's saying we thrashed them. Yeah, I know. We thrashed them on the stats. We're all very aware of the scoreline. Yeah, but for anyone who missed the start of the show, by the 70th minute, 70 minutes, 70. That's a long time. I'm not talking the first half where, all right, we didn't get going. 70 minutes, so a whole over half of the second half as well. We'd had 6 shots. They'd had 6 shots. And I know shots isn't everything, but look at the chances created as well. They weren't great. Arguably, they kind of created as much or as good chances as we had by the 70th minute. So I'm just trying to be really fair on how I reflect on that game. But the positives are, the positives are we won 4-0, and perhaps we should talk about that a little bit more. Arsenal then started really purring after that. The football was mesmerising. Some of the football we played, in terms of the possession for most of that second half, but in terms of the chance creation in the last 20, phenomenal. No, absolutely, and I think we sort of got to the point where we to be honest, Everton looked tired towards the end of that game, and I think we really pounced on that in a way. And from the 70th minute onwards, I think, what was it, 5 shots up to the 4 or 5 shots up to that 70th minute, and then all of a sudden 6 shots up to the 70th. 9-10 shots in that last. Well, that's 20 it. So nine shots in the last 20 minutes. Everton looked knackered. I'll be honest with you, and I think it's fantastic that we're learning to bounce on that. Because it's very important that we just we got the goal difference up today. Well, I think also what happened was the players got more and more confident, and then you started to see, my brother was at the game, and he put in the group that Zinchenko's special. And actually, I think my kind of thoughts on his performance are slightly clouded by the fact that I thought his first 20 minutes weren't great at all. But the ball to Saka, the ball to Trossard for the cutback, to Nketiah for the cutback to Martinelli. These were really, really special moments from Zinchenko. And then kind of at that point, what he was doing in possession was unbelievable. I thought Trossard got better and better as it went on. I thought Martinelli got better and better as it went on.
My man of the match.
Yeah, Martinelli worked well. Two massive goals, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Two really good goals, really good finishes as well. Because they're near goal, they look easy. They're really not. And then I thought Gabriel Partey, I thought Xhaka was very good as well. Yep. I kind of thought the individual performances across the 90 were better than the whole team performance over the 90. People want to fixate on 20 minutes, and fair enough. Matthew says, oh, here we go. Hold on, I've lost it. Sorry, Matthew had put in a good comment. Oh, well, Sky Tusha says, James, seriously, you should rewatch the game and redo this analysis. Well, look, I'll be up tomorrow morning to do tactical insight, as I always am. Everyone's saying everyone's coming at me in the comments. Football's a 90-minute game. Football's a 90-minute game. Yeah, but like, there's context to everything. Look, whatever. It's all, you have your opinions. That's fair enough. Nanu, James, did you watch the match? Yes, I did. Football is a 90-minute game, but that doesn't mean you take the 90 minutes and you just go, cool, well, what happened over the 90 minutes? 15 shots in 90. I think you got to look at the context. Just look at what your eyes are telling you. Let me ask this in the group chat. In the comment section. Who was happy with that first half? Honestly, be completely honest with yourselves. Who was happy with that first half? I kind of understand people saying second half we turned up, we controlled the game, so I don't care if we created many chances. That's fair enough. But who was happy with that first half?
It definitely.
Because I think people are being honest with themselves. They're going, no. And I saw on the Twitter timeline everyone going, worst half of football all season, but we're 2-0 up.
I like this comment here. This is how champions win. This is what
absolutely,
I've been trying to say.
And I'm giving them credit for that. I'm giving them credit for that because the individual quality was superb. After that, the team started purring and playing some really, really brilliant football. Here we go. Who was happy with that first half? We're going to ask. We won't run it too long. Everyone will think we're being ultra negative. Nico says, when Man City do it, we say they are clinical. When Arsenal do it, we have problems. Not every game we're going to have 15 shots in a game. Nico, I didn't. Who said we had problems? This is the thing. People take things. They hear something and then they add something else to it. I never said we had problems. I never said it was anything to be concerned about. I'm just talking about how the game went. That's all. But anyway, appreciate the super chat. Who was happy with that first half? I said no. Okay, 51% saying yes, they were happy. So there you go. Pretty even. Some people not great. This is quite a funny comment. Dilo, no, Harry Potter must have used Stupefy on himself with this analysis. Oh, see, this is what I mean. Matthew, you are 2-0 up. How can you not be happy? That just, you don't get it. Fair enough. But that's just my opinion. Gary Neville's agent, this guy. It's your opinion. Don't worry about the haters. Fair enough. Listen, I hear that. On to more positive stuff. We're going to start taking some callers. Get everyone's thoughts. Oliver, don't be negative, James. I'm smiling the whole way. What? So
we've won.
So because I'm actually trying to be fair about a performance, I'm being negative. I'm just being honest about what I saw. Last 20 minutes, we battered them. All second half, we had control of the game. Quickly, your standout performers before we take some calls.
I think the obvious one for me, like I said, he's my man of the match, Gabriel Martinelli. Changed the game with his goals. And Thomas Partey, when he came in that second half as well, completely changed the game.
Yeah, Thomas Partey was my man of the match. I thought he was unbelievable. But Martinelli. People saying we dominated the first half. Oh, God. If you saw that first half. It's a bit of a sticky one. Let's see what the callers are saying. Because then we can actually have it out properly. And all of you who have a problem with what I'm saying, get on the AFTV Plus app. Call. And we'll chat about it. We'll chat about it in person. It'll be more fun. James is the new Jordan. Listen, his predictions have been right on Forever Arsenal, so I'll absolutely take being the new Jordan. All right, who have we got? Production, who have we got? We've got Deanie. Let's welcome Deanie.
Hello, Deanie.
Deanie, they're hating on me. They're hating on me in the comments here.
They shouldn't be hating on you, James. That's not nice to everyone in the comments. That's not nice. James is a good person. We have to look after James.
Thank you. I'll send me your bank details. Now look,
You're welcome.
Dini.
Oh no, but I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna say this because I'm tired and I'm not gonna stay on here long, and I'm gonna let everyone else talk about the game. But I want to make these points. 2 weeks ago today, we lost against Man City. It seemed like our season was over.
Yep.
It seemed like everyone was crumbling. I remember after the game, I think esteemed company said, "This is what champions do." Hugh on the big seat said, "Normal service resumed." What was Steve saying? There's a big blue shark behind you. That shark is looking kind of meaty right now. It's looking kind of meaty right now. I'll say that much, because they have to go. Now they have to go to Newcastle on Saturday, and they know that they have to win, because if we go to Bournemouth and win, that's 8 points. Now, for me personally, I'm going to say this now. I'm proud of this. I'm going to Bournemouth on Saturday. It's going to be my first ever Premier League game, and that's exactly why we are going to win, because Arsenal are not going to let me down on that day. I will say that much. I wanted to say something. Please, just do it for me, boys. What else did I want to say? Did I want to say one thing? I also said we needed to find a winning mentality after Man City, and we needed to find it against Aston Villa. That's 3 wins on the bounce now. 3 wins on the bounce. And then no one's saying that. No one's saying that what Arsenal are doing right now is what champions do. We have a bad patch and then we respond. But no one's saying it. But you know what? It's fine. We will keep chugging away and we'll keep doing what we're doing. The last thing I'm going to say is, to all the Arsenal fans that are coming on FanZone tonight, bring your chest. Bring your chest, be happy and celebrate.
Yeah, exactly.
Because right now, we haven't won it yet, but slowly but surely, we are marching to a title. I don't want to see smiles and happiness on this channel. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
13 games left. 13 games.
13 games. It's so close.
It's creeping up, isn't it? It's creeping up. We're in March. Yeah. 3 months of Premier League football to play. Look, thanks for joining us. And hopefully Arsenal get that win for you.
Cheers, man.
Hopefully.
Amazing.
That was inspirational, James,
it was.
wasn't it?
He's right about enjoying it. I'm not seeing here, like, have you seen me complaining or ranting or moaning? I'm just calling it what it is. And I've had a smile on my face all show. You know, I'm delighted. Ratko says, James, this is how champions win. We don't need to look like $1 million. I agree.
He's not complaining. You're not complaining. You're just being honest about what you saw.
You know, cool. We won a game without being our scintillating best. That's fantastic. Who have we got now? We got Rupin. Rupin, welcome.
Hi, Rupin.
Hello.
How you doing? I want to ask you again. I'm getting hate in the comments because I was critical of a lot of that performance, but very, very happy with the win. Where are you?
Oh yeah, I heard what you said and I understand why you said it and I agree with it in part. But I think that if we are a little frantic in the first 15-20 minutes at home against Everton, it's okay. Like, we can miss a few passes. We can not have a shot on target for the first 15-20 minutes. It's fine. Because in the previous match against Leicester, we have shown that if they break away, our defense is good enough to handle it. If we can do it at Leicester, we can definitely do it at home. And in the last, we had not won 3 out of the last 4 games at home against low block sides. You know, sides like what Everton were doing today, where they were, keeping 10 men, 9 men in the box. So if they are being a little frantic, if they are a little energetic, they don't know where they are passing, I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, they can afford to do that at home. That's what I think. So yes, I was happy with the half, but not in the way that everyone else is. I thought it's fine that we take our time and we grow into the game, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, I love that. How are you feeling about the title chase? 5 points clear of Man City now.
I don't want to think about that. I'm taking it game by game.
This is what happens to all of us. We hear it.
Smile says 1,000 words.
I just interviewed Turkish for his fan cam out on the channel now or soon. And he was just like, I mentioned it. I said, 3 more games and we're at that 10 game mark. We're creeping up to that, the games, match week 30, 31, 32. And you start to taste it. And, we can't all help but just kind of smile when we start to think about, look, it's still a long way to go really in terms of how many points are up for grabs, but not that much in terms of, like earlier in the season we were going, well, it's still early. It's not early anymore. Far from it.
Yes, but I don't want to think about it right now because it's just, we've been through way too much. and I don't want to take up my expectations to another level and then suffer another heartbreak. But talking about Turkish, you must force him to be on every Forever Arsenal podcast, because since he's been back, we haven't lost again, and he's the lucky charm. He has to be there.
Turkish.
Yeah, absolutely
He'll
spot
love
on.
that. He'll absolutely
I
love
will
that.
pass that on to him. Ruben, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much. Thank you, both of you.
Let's get Michael in now. Michael, how you doing?
Hi, Michael.
Good. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you. We can hear you. What's your thoughts on the performance?
Well, no, I've got some thoughts, James, about your really poor attitude about the first half. That if you're going to criticize the team for being 2-0 up at the end of that first half, then you've got to be full of praise when we're down by 2 goals, but we're creating a lot of XG. And I feel like...
We lost to Man City, and I said that was a good performance, and that we should, be fairly positive about that. Like when we lost to Man United at Old Trafford.
Right. Okay, but what I think you're ignoring now is what you were talking about magic. That when we speak of good finishing coming from players like Saka and Martinelli having belief, what we're saying is that they are visualizing the goal even before the chance falls to them. So when they get the slightest shred of a chance, the way that Martinelli and Saka got in the first half, they're already programmed to do exactly what they need to do to put the ball in the back of the net. And that's what I see happening. That's why I think Saka is going to be the Thierry Henry of our generation. It's because he knows how to manipulate the magic of the moment. He manifests the goal.
Yeah, and he needed very little. I mean, listen, it's a great pass from Zinchenko, but he's got a lot of work to do there, and that's what makes him such a special player. His touch with his right foot, his setup with his left, and then his finish with his right into the roof of the net is unbelievable. And it's one thing when you're in the flow of the game and you're playing well and the chances come, and you put it in the back of the net. But there wasn't anything for Saka. He had to make that for himself to a degree with some help from Zinni, and that is brilliant. And in fairness, we've given him a lot of praise for that.
That's true. Do you remember that Robert Downey movie of Sherlock Holmes where he thinks through the 12 steps? He thinks through the 12 steps that he needs to take in order to knock out some huge brawler. That's what I see Saka and Martinelli both doing. Step number 1, get clear. Step number 2, open half a yard of space. Step 3, put it in the top corner. And the ability to do that comes from confidence and a feeling of belief in the finishing. And I don't think we can underrate that when we talk about the performance, even in the first half.
Yeah, fair enough. How are you feeling about the title race? We're going to ask everyone now. It's 5 points clear. The games at hand are gone, but at least we've absolutely taken advantage of them.
Wretched though we have seemed, now we produce a champion. Now does fortune love us? Be it art or happenstance, the very dice obey us. Come on, you Gunners.
Hey, let's hope we have produced a champion.
Come on,
Thank you as always, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Let's bring in Harvey. Harvey, mate, I'm telling everyone this. I'm getting slated in the comments for my feelings on the performance. Are you going to help me out? Or are you here to... he's here to come for me, isn't he? God, go for it.
No, man, you're spot on, bro. You're spot on.
This is why I love Harvey.
We've got
Yes. It's 42-1. There we go. I pulled one back. Yeah, go on.
Spot on, man. Mate, I actually messaged you before the game, and I was like, I'm not happy with that lineup. We're going to run into the same problem.
Pop up. Yeah, I did see it pop up.
I was like, we're going to run into the same problem we ran into Goodison Park. And actually, we were. That first half was very poor. And I actually think Sean Dyche is going to be very, very upset with how much space he allowed between the center back and the fullback there, because Bukayo had an ocean of space. Granted, he still had a lot to do, but an ocean of space. And then, a defensive error where the guy gets caught sleeping and 2-0 up, and it was not deserved. It was not deserved. In fact, if I have trouble sleeping tonight, I'm going to put that first half on replay and I'll fall asleep and sleep very, very soundly. That's how boring and poor it was. And second half, Everton has to come out. They look degraded. They look defeated. They look knackered, as you guys alluded to. And eventually, we started purring and we put them to the sword. But football is a very, very funny game and honestly, I think it's the only sport in the world really where the scoreline isn't always reflective of the actual performance or the actual run of play. I think it's the only really sport that exemplifies that. And I think the first half was very, very exemplary of exactly that, I think, uniqueness of football.
Harvey, when you say you was unhappy with the lineup, what exactly was it that you was unhappy with? Because as far as I'm aware, it was the same lineup as we had against Leicester, and we played fairly well with that lineup. So what was it you was unhappy with?
I think that, the way Sean Dyche likes to play, he likes to overload the midfields from defensive areas, and we actually like to exploit those exact areas as well with our attacking. And so we kind of just run into a sea of bodies, and we can't really create the overloads and the numerical advantages. And so when we do get the ball out wide, the wingers are very isolated. So I thought it was the kind of game to bring Tierney in, to put Zinchenko in midfield rather than Xhaka, so we can have more agility in the final third and try to create overloads in the wide areas rather than down the middle. That's why I wasn't happy with the lineup. I also thought today would have been a good game for Eddie, because we tried to whip in balls into the box in that first half, and there was nobody really at the receiving end of it. And I think that poacher instinct of his would have been good. His ability to drop in deep and pick up the ball, which isn't that great, is kind of unnecessary when they have 6-7 bodies right around the half circle. So, that's why I wasn't happy with the lineup. But, I think Everton really poor positioning defensively, and then they give us a second goal, and eventually they have to come out, and we exploited the spaces. But I think it was more so how neither side was really that good. And when Everton's not at their best, 9 times out of 10, their lack of quality is gonna reveal itself. So I think that's what happened today.
I thought a massive positive, apart from some of the football and control we had in that second half, I thought a real positive was the subs and some significant minutes for Fabio Vieira. Good to see Tierney coming on and playing that role in the Zinni way, because everyone's got to come in and keep things moving. I thought Smith Rowe had some nice touches, some nice moments. And it was just good to see, Saka didn't have to play the full 90. There were some things I really liked, in terms of the use of squad depth.
Yeah, man, 100%. First and foremost, Fabio Vieira is looking so good. Every single time he's having a cameo, he's just looking better and better and better.
He is.
I think he's definitely be a final ball specialist. And let's not underestimate, if we can have another creative, outlet alongside Odegaard, where, it can give the likes of Odegaard more space or more time on the ball because he has somebody on that other, side of the half space that can actually be that much of a creative outlet as well. It frees up more time and space on him on the ball to actually be more creative or put more goals or have somebody else to combine with. So don't underestimate how much more powerful that midfield can be. And Tierney, lots of talk of him moving away, which...
No,
we lost Harvey.
I hope we don't lose Tierney, though. Just to go from that point, I really do hope we don't lose Kieran Tierney, because...
Oh, we lost Harvey. That's a shame. Oh, he's back.
He's back?
He's back. Oh, you're back. How you doing? Oh, I can't hear you now. Oh, no, we can't hear him. The producers just said, oh, shit.
The beauty of live production, guys.
All right, Harvey, a pleasure chatting to you,
Harvey.
honestly. But yeah, the Tierney, the fear of Tierney, and his kind of future in this squad. Do you know what? Give me your brief thoughts, because I'm very aware that everyone thinks we're being way too negative. So we'll touch on some of the other positives. But yeah, Tierney, good to see him get minutes, and I love the guy. I hope he stays, but he's also too good to just be a squad player, I think.
No, absolutely, and I think it's just bad timing, really, because Tierney hasn't put a foot wrong this season when he's coming. So it's just Zinchenko's done some well as well. So I think it's just a hard situation. I would love to see Zinchenko actually start in a midfield position and Kieran Tierney start in the left back position. I'd be very interested to see how that goes.
Let's get who is Musud? Let's get Musud on.
Hi, Musud.
Musud, how you doing?
Hi, good evening, James. Thank you. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for joining us. We're 5 points clear at the top of the
first time
table.
live with you guys, so excited actually.
Oh, amazing. Look, we're 5 points clear at the top, and things are looking really good for Arsenal right now.
Of course. About today's game, I actually kind of agree with you. But first half performance wasn't great, but only thing I was hoping that time, we don't concede anything. That is, I knew if we could score first goal, the rest will be easy. So in terms of first half performance, it wasn't great, but we was clinical and the lucky goal, second goal. So it's okay, it can happen sometimes, but I think from going forward from today until the end of the season, the main thing is our defensive organization has to be spot on.
Yeah, it's good to see a clean sheet today, though.
Yes. It's very good to see back-to-back clean sheet, and it's going to be very key
Yeah, I agree.
And our March fixtures looks very good. I think all the games are winnable. So yeah, we are in a good place, man.
Let's. I said that I thought some of the players' performances were better than maybe the overall team performance across the 90. Although, as I said, we ended the game creating a load of chances. But who really stood out for you? Because I think you could name 5, 6, 7 really impressive performances today. Who is your favourite?
Partey only came on for the second half, but I think since he came on,
Immense.
all the jigsaws are linking up better. I think so. He's the important part, and Martinelli Saka is always like Martinelli. So for me, Martinelli was good, but Partey you have to give credit because since he came on second half, we are different team.
Yeah, agreed.
So all these missing links, all that coming up together. So Partey is gonna be key for us for the rest of the season.
You know who else came alive, I thought, in the second half was Martin Odegaard. I thought that second half, that kind of sliding challenge with Iwobi, but then the little flick, but then some of the passes into Martinelli and beyond, I thought were genius, were very Ozil-esque actually.
Definitely.
Really enjoyed him in the second half.
Another player as well.
And also a good mention about, very happy to see Smith Rowe back.
Yeah, very true.
He's gonna, and thinking, and if Gabriel Jesus come back, so we have a very good squad now, so we can push on.
Squad's really looking good.
Really looking good.
Let me ask you, yes or no? Are Arsenal lifting the Premier League trophy in May?
Of course, yes, man.
Amazing.
No doubt at all.
Oh, sorry, I'm just being spoken to by production. Sorry, 1 second. Look, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Amazing. Right. Do you think we're going to win the league?
I do think we're going to win. Do you know what? What's going on?
Oh, hello. Sorry, welcome. Apologies. We're a bit all over the place. My bad. This is karma for me being too negative about the match.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, gentlemen?
Yes, we can.
Yes. What's your name? Sorry.
It's Larry.
Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yes. Yeah, my nickname is The Foreigner. I'm actually based in Manchester. I'm from the island of Bermuda. So I want to give a shout out to all the Arsenal fans from my home island of Bermuda.
Amazing.
Secondly, James, I want to say that the Tactical Insight is one of my favorite shows.
Oh, thank you.
You and Graham do an excellent job. I do enjoy a lot of the other content that Arsenal AFTV has to offer as well, pre-game analysis. But I love the analysis of you and James breaking it down. And that's one of my favorite shows that I look forward to catching
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. That will mean the world to Graham as well. So thank you.
Definitely. I see the work goes in. I'm analytical minded, so I really appreciate the sort of work that you and him do to put the show on and make it, even if we lose, you still break it down as to, why the other team had the upper hand, et cetera, et cetera. So keep up the great work. And may AFTV continue to expand and all the different areas in which you're endeavoring to go into.
Thank you so much. What did you make of the game? Give us some thoughts that we can use on Tactical Insight tomorrow. Because 4-0, 4-0,
Yes.
a clean sheet, lots of goals.
Awesome. Nice that we can tally up, add to our goal difference.
Massive.
I felt before the game that if we could be up 2-0 by the half, we could run the score up a bit. We were fortunate to be up at 2-0 at the half. So with Saka and then the mistake, and then Martinelli capitalized on that. So that was great. And I think that second goal, like the gentleman there, forgive me, I don't know your name. That's your co-host there.
Oh, it's Frank. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm very forgettable.
Frank, right, yeah. Yeah. No, you made the point that second goal being scored just before the half, that took a lot of sting out of Everton.
Definitely.
And then it was great to see, the substitutes come on, Rose Smith, Vieira, Tierney. So it was nice for them to get a run. But let me say this, James. I'm excited that Arteta is now has dropped Nketiah and has gone with Trossard and Martinelli up front.
Yeah.
I think that Trossard is a better all-around player than Nketiah. And Pep had great success. Man City had great success with that false nine for how many seasons? When Aguero, had retired, they hadn't filled that role, but yet they were still scoring goals galore, coming from the wide positions. A lot of players were in that team in terms of goal tally at the end of the season. So, and Arteta was there, for a period of that time as the assistant coach. So I'm happy that he I don't know, reluctantly has made that change so that we can create problems for defenses instead of being the status quo, like it was when we met Everton at home, at their home grounds.
Yeah, honestly, it was a complete change from what we saw at Goodison Park. I'm not going to go into the points I've been making earlier in this video because everyone in the comments will kill me. But certainly in terms of, ultimately the whole complexion of the game, the 3 points, the 4 goals, the clean sheets, and all that. Are we going to win the title?
I'm a game by game. I would like us to win the title. It's been a long work. We're overdue. We are overdue, but we have to earn it. Nothing is given to us. The Premier League is the best and the toughest league. We have those tough away fixtures. So I'm a realist. I'm very practical. Yes, I would love for us to win the league this year, but it's game by game. Right, remember, the team is in uncharted territories. It's like you're in a ship, but you're navigating into waters you haven't been before because this is all new to the majority of the team members there, right? And to Arteta. Arteta is not, yes, I hear you. I'm sorry. Someone was saying, maybe I heard someone in the back office saying something to me. I thought it was you.
Oh, right. No worries. No worries. Carry on.
Can you hear me clearly, James?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, very clear, yeah.
So let me just finish my point. So I lost my train of thought. Forgive me.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Larry.
But in terms of winning the league game by game, and because, again, the health of the team, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. I follow the NBA, and the Golden State Warriors had Kevin Durant. They were leading against Toronto Raptors, and guess they had 2 key injuries in that series in the middle of the playoffs. Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson went on, and guess who won the NBA title that year? Toronto.
Toronto Raptors.
So we can't count our chickens before they're hatched. Game by game, but I'm enjoying watching the team again. Arteta has got most of his players, and he's got them playing the way he wants. So there's belief in the team. The noise from the fans. I've been to the stadium twice. I'm in Manchester, but I've only been down to a couple of home games. I'm hoping to come back again before the season is over.
Amazing.
Hope to see you soon.
I'm happy, but game by game.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be Arteta's message as well. Thank you so much, Larry.
Yep.
Oh, no, straight into Jay. Hey, Jay.
Transition. Hi, Jay.
Hi, James. How are you?
We can hear you good. The picture's a bit laggy, but it's okay. Feel bad for Larry there because he was just about to say thank you, and then we cut him off immediately. So, but anyway, Jay, good to have you. Good to have you. And
okay.
Thoughts on the game? I'll let you take in any direction you want.
Okay. The picture is not great as you said, but I hope you can hear me clearly.
Can hear you. Yeah, clearly, all good.
Okay. First of all, thank you guys. This is my first time on AFTV on any show, basically. So you guys are doing a really great job, and we're really enjoying it.
Great to have you.
Especially that we're doing so great this season. So everything is just so fun. I think I want to talk about the game. Basically, I was expecting a lot better from Everton because if the first leg is anything to go by, and Sean Dyche record against Arsenal is very good. So when I think this game today, they went for a point. That's why they were not even coming out of their own half. They barely came out of their own half. Whilst the first leg, you saw them coming all over, chasing us all over the pitch. Point. But like you said, the first half is not really great, and I agree with that. But when you go to the halftime leading 2-0, you cannot really say it's not great. So that's a different story. And I really want to talk about Martinelli as well. I think Trossard coming into the team has helped Martinelli because the way Trossard plays, it's quite different because let's talk about the front three: Trossard, Martinelli, Saka. It's quite different when you have Saka, Nketiah, and Martinelli because Nketiah is a proper number 9, and he's not really comfortable going on the wings. But you see Trossard, he can go on the wings, he play comfortably, which allows Martinelli coming into the number 9 position. If you observe both of his goals today, he was in that number 9 positions because even when Saka tried to win that ball back, it's because Martinelli was in that number 9 position that allows him to run and got the ball and get the goal at the end of the day. And you see the second goal also because he was in that number 9 position. So when he's playing with Nketiah, it's difficult for him to get to those positions. So I think that's why a couple of weeks back he was not at his best because of he doesn't rotate like that when he plays with Nketiah. So I feel going forward, because Jesus is still a couple of weeks before we can see him again, I will really prefer going with this front three rather than bringing Nketiah back to the team.
Yeah, agreed. Jay, it's slightly laggy, so we might have to leave it there, but we really appreciate your thoughts. And you're right about the fluidity of the team. It's massive. We'll actually discuss that a little bit now. But Jay, it's great to have you on AFTV. Please join us again on AFTV now to do it now. It's been good to have you on.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, pleasure to chat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just on that point he made about fluidity, and Trossard helping Martinelli, I thought that was very evident against Leicester. Yep. Not sure we saw as much of it tonight, but we did see, even if they weren't linking up as much, we definitely saw them interchanging positions.
Rotation. And
Trossard gets the assist for Odegaard's goal, and he's the one out on the left.
Yeah, no, I really do enjoy the rotation that they've got going on here. I said it on the stream again, but it reminds me of similar of what Alexander Lacazette and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang used to do. It seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it? It's a really strange one, but that rotation seems to work very well. And like he said, Eddie hasn't really got that in his locker. He can try and go out to the wing, but it doesn't usually work. And I think that is a negative of Eddie Nketiah's game. So I do agree that as it stands at the moment, we do stick with the whole Martinelli Trossard link up. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. And when Jesus comes back, it's more of the same. But I want to give credit to Eddie though. What a great cameo! I thought he came on.
Yeah,
looked very bright. Obviously, really should have scored.
He did get an assist though.
He did. My iPad's died, so I'm gonna get my phone out. He should have scored, but yeah, he got the assist, and it was a really nice movement. And what he does really well that I love is that ball from Zinchenko. He's not on the right side of the defender when it's played, he's actually the other side, and he points to, that's the space. And that's why I think it's so hard for whoever it was, the defender, whether it was Keane or Coleman, whoever it was, to sort of track that run, because Eddie's kind of come off his blind spot. So it's a really good cameo from Eddie.
No, absolutely. And I'm glad to see him do well when he comes on, but I don't want to criticise him too much, but I think he has got a lot more to learn in terms of his game, because he seems very one-dimensional to me at the moment, in the terms that he's a on the last man kind of striker. And if a team like Everton, or we saw it against,
he's improved a lot though.
He has, yeah, but you look at the game against Brentford, he has improved a lot, don't get me wrong, but I still think he's got a lot more to do. He's very one-dimensional in the sense that he's an off the last man striker. If the team plays a low block, then it doesn't really work for him.
That's interesting, because I think his hold-up play has been really good recently. I just think it's that craft. Like Trossard is almost like he's basically a number 10 / winger / false 9 / advanced state, whatever you want to call him. And so when he in that false 9 position, he does it really well. Whereas with Eddie, I think his hold-up play is good. I think his natural instinct for getting into goal-scoring chances is better. But at the moment, Arsenal are just benefiting from what Trossard brings more than the Eddie.
And I think Trossard being at the club now does benefit Eddie, because he's got the likes of Gabriel Jesus and Leandro Trossard to look up to and learn from now. So I think it's only going to benefit Eddie going forward if he stays.
Lots of options. We'll take a couple more callers to round off the show. Who have we got? Who have we got, sorry? Ozzy Guna. Welcome, Ozzy Guna. Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
I don't think he knows.
This is a great conversation.
Here. Can you hear us? Ozzy? No. Okay. Looks like something was distracting him outside, I think. We'll try to get Ozzy Guna in a bit. We've got who, sorry? Daniel. Daniel's here. Hey, Daniel, how you doing?
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, James. Hi, friends.
second time I've seen that particular Arsenal shirt. I think it was
Lovely
the
shirt. That's the 2009-10.
Yeah,
it is.
Great shirt. I love that. And some of the players we had in it, I can't lie, Fabregas, Nasri, all them. I know they all left us, but
For some reason, it makes me think of Sol Campbell and that little return that he had.
oh yeah, the Sol Campbell return. Yeah, that was a very weird and desperate time for Arsenal.
Was
but
indeed.
Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me. I just want to point out something. I think we're not giving Zini a lot of praise in this game because actually three of the goals we scored today actually came from him. 3 of the goals.
Saka, the Martinelli
Odegaard,
second.
Even the Odegaard goal. Yeah, because
I think that he's involved, not that he's got the assist, but he's just involved in it.
Not the assist. It was the one that pushed the ball from the defense onto the midfield. Onto,
key passes.
So to
Fair,
Martinelli,
great spot.
Martinelli to Chaka to Trossard. So it was one. So it was actually one that dragged the ball there. So, and also something I pick up from the game. I think you guys on the tactical show you can actually talk about it. Is the first goal Martinelli wrote in the first goal. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good. I'm just making sure I have the comments up so they can tear me apart for my next opinion. Carry on.
Yeah, the Martinelli first, the Saka first goal, the role Martinelli played in that goal, I think it's been overlooked because if you actually watch the replay, Martinelli was in a 9 position. It was while it was there, Michael Keane tried to come outside to Mike. I'm hearing a noise.
You're hearing a noise?
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm not hearing a noise.
Oh, sorry about this.
Yes.
It's okay. Make your point. Yeah, go for it. I hope it's not too distracting.
No. So what I'm trying to say is that Martinelli was one that dragged Michael Keane from his comfort zone. Michael Keane has to switch with Tarkowski, making him uncomfortable by coming to the right-hand side where Saka had a free space. I believe if Tarkowski was in that right-hand defensive line, he would have gone more on Saka because he was on the wrong side. That's why Saka has a lot of space there. And also, Martinelli had to go to the right-hand side after giving Saka that space, making it open for Zinchenko to see that pass through because Mikalenko was watching the overlap of Martinelli, so he gave Saka that space, and I think that was a very, very good goal he scored there, and so we talked about in the tactical inside.
We'll definitely discuss it. Actually, let me ask you then, and this is going to be my final question. I'm going to ask you, and then there'll be for our final calls as well. Is Bukayo Saka world class?
Easy.
I say yes. That's fine. Yes.
It's on its way to being a world class.
On his way. All right, we'll leave it at that. Let's go to some more callers and see who else says that. But look, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, James.
Thank you. Let's go to Elliot. Elliot, how you doing?
Hi, Elliot.
Hey, gentlemen, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Much better now. We got the 3 points.
Oh yes, of course. That was never in doubt, especially after that first half where they basically gave nothing to us. Now again, listen, James, I take your criticism quite well. I think there were things to sharpen up, but at the end of the day, we had a 2-0 lead. So am I worried? No. Once you're assured and once you have a certain amount of control in the game, you know what I mean? You keep on moving, and that's what we did in the second half when we just rolled it.
Yeah, no, we did. Second half, we absolutely rolled him. I mean, the second half was like, it was a bit like the Leicester second half where we had the lead. We had the game won, so we just kept things moving. But I kind of... See with Leicester where we didn't get the second goal, but I didn't feel like the team were that bothered about it. I did feel like in the second half of this game, I felt like they did want the third goal. And they were maybe just making a little more hard work of it than they wanted to find it. And then they get it. And then we could have scored 4 in the last 20. I mean, you look at the Smith Rowe one where there's a load of blocks at the end. You look at the Vieira chance he scuffed. You look at Nketiah. There was another big one as well that's escaped my mind. Trossard, where he volleys it and he kind of scuffs it. Like, we could have scored, or that might have been at 2-0 to be fair, but we could have scored another 4 goals. But I just felt that came in the last 20 minutes rather than like across the game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we wanted to really make a statement in this game. I think we were, people have been trying to take pot shots at us, and they say these guys aren't really league leaders; they're not going to win anything. So we have to just, let those people know that we are the champions elect, and it's going to take a lot for you to beat us. At the end of the day, we're a confident side. We've got depth in our squad. Jesus is coming back, and things are rolling right now. So hey. Relax. RELAX. Relax.
Yeah, I know you're not aiming that at me, but I'm very relaxed about it all. To be fair, I mean, when we were saying it, we were talking about it, but we felt pretty, relaxed. I was kind of more like irate at halftime in the Leicester game when we had the VAR issue and all that, and then I was like really pent up and away from home. This is gonna be tricky. I was pretty relaxed in this game that the chances would come at some point. But I mean, look, Arsenal are doing a superb job. 5 points clear of Man City on the 1st of March. That's an unbelievable situation. I mean, we were talking about this time without Jesus. We were 5 points clear of Man City when he got injured. And now we see pictures of him back in training, 5 points clear of Man City. It's an unbelievable effort from the team.
It is. And credit to management, credit to the squad for sticking through it during our sticky patch. This month, but again, we could be 8 points up if Newcastle do us a favor on the weekend. So, and we do our jobs on the weekend ourselves. So, listen, every team go through a blip. We rode through the blip, and now we've seen the other side stronger than ever. And my eyes are set on the championship in and of itself, which leads me to my next comment, which is your Bermudan friend that was on earlier on. I being from Toronto and knowing what a champion side is capable of.
We've got a Raptors fan here, clearly.
Well, yes, of course. And the thing about it is, we knew then what a champion side was made of, and that is, a side of one mind, of one vision, and that's what we have right now here at Arsenal. We got a side of one mind, one vision, and one goal. And you cannot help but be confident at this point in time.
I hear that.
And when you have the likes of one of the best strikers in Europe coming back to us, and we've ridden ourselves through the storm, you know what? You just got to navigate the calm seas and get to port. You know what I mean? So guys, let's get behind the side. Let's make it happen here, because there are only brighter days ahead, and the only way is up.
Yes or no? Bukayo Saka, world class.
Best young, I would say top 3 best young players in the world at the moment. So I would say world class adjacent.
Yeah.
If I can say that.
Like world class in waiting. Like that.
Yes, world class in waiting.
That's kind
He's
of
Prince world class. How's that? He's Prince world class.
I think you guys are not being generous enough. I think
maybe
we're
not. Apparently I've been a negative.
I think we're looking at one of the top 5 wingers in the world.
Yeah.
I understand.
I don't want to be biased, but that's genuinely how I feel. I think he's that good.
Yeah, I mean,
he is that good, but you need sustained performance to make yourself world class. I mean, this was his coming out party. This is his coming out party right now. Next year, if he does the same thing, absolutely nail a world class, and if he does it on a Champions League stage, absolutely. But that will be the making of it.
Elliot, a big thanks. Great to get your thoughts.
I can't wait to hear that music back at the Emirates.
Oh my god! These are the champions! Oh my god! No! I have it on my iPod actually. So empty. It gives me chills. Anyways, guys, enjoy yourselves. Hey,
I hear that. Thanks.
Great 3 points.
Thank you. Just before we get to the final caller, see that whole, when I said world class in waiting, I think what I mean by that is Elliot touched on it really well there. There's a consistency that you associate with world-class players.
Yeah.
I never really subscribed to this idea that I'm trying to think of someone who's recently been very good and people are just saying like world-class. I
don't know if I'm being harsh here. Rashford?
Yeah, I think Rashford is Rashford world-class. I mean, probably. Yeah. That's hard.
Mahrez?
See, Mahrez, I'd say yes, but Rashford's having a much better season than Mahrez, so I don't know why I say that. But okay, let's take like De Bruyne for example.
Okay.
Or even Haaland, who's very young. Haaland. he's not world class in waiting for me because he has been scoring goal after goal for 3 seasons in a row now. But then Saka's been playing really, really well for 3 seasons in a row.
100%.
So maybe I'm being harsh.
If this is the logic that we're going off of,
I don't know,
surely you've got to be putting Saka in that world-class bracket.
I'm more than happy to. I don't know. I always find the world-class thing is kind of it's thrown around too easily. So maybe that's where my hesitation's coming from.
Of course. But I don't think it's just coming from Arsenal fans. I think this is coming from football worldwide. I think we're coming to an acceptance that Bukayo Saka is that player.
Well, I think also sometimes you've got to stop and go, whether he's world class or not, you can't deny he's delivering world class moments. Like that goal against Manchester United when we needed it most, the performance in really, really big games, his numbers for a player his age, and he's having to be the main man. It's not like he's come into a City team that have won 4 of the last 5 Premier Leagues and he's playing really well. You go, cool, that's the perfect platform to do it. He's having to be the main man, and he had to step up when this team were in the mud. Like, he was the one who had to step up for us.
And he done it.
With Smith Rowe, Martinelli and all that. And yeah, so you know what? I'm more than happy to say it's funny because I think you can say that he's one of, if not the best right winger in the world right now, whilst also saying that he's not quite world class yet, because there doesn't have to be a world class right winger
way I
right
look
now.
At it is,
I don't know
who competes with him at the moment on that right hand side.
No,
specifically.
I guess. And then if your definition is world class is like the best in class, like the best in the world right now, then he's in that discussion. So yeah, I'm just confused. Listen, it's tired. I've had a really long day, everyone. Yeah, one of those. Look, Bukayo Saka. All I know is he's unreal, and we're so lucky to have him because that goal was just phenomenal.
The thought of him in another shirt pains me.
No, I'm not even going to go into
I
that.
don't want to think about
Now that's negative. And I will not tolerate any of that on this channel. All right, let's go to our final caller of the day. Who have we got? Stephen and Alexander. How are we?
Hi, guys.
Hey, James, Frank, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How are
Good.
you?
Hey, a little under the weather, but nothing like a 4-0 win to be the perfect tonic.
The best medicine.
Exactly.
It certainly is. You know, James, I was not surprised that the first half was a little cagey. Having lost to Everton just not too long ago, as much as you wanted to gain redemption from that loss, you also didn't want to just sneak in the back and, get a goal. And, they were pretty well adept at defending, especially if they had a lead. And so you could see why Arsenal was, maybe just a little gun shy. But I was, like you guys have been, of the opinion that once we scored the first goal, it was going to open up. And I'm very happy that we scored 4 goals, because the one thing that I've noticed throughout the season is, even though we controlled a lot of the games, we've not had like a free goal scoring spree where we pump teams like 3, 4, 5 goals. So I was happy to see us scoring this freely, and just to lay a mark that, we can actually do this. I think Everton actually tried to maybe intimidate us or try to bully us. And we're actually seeing a transition of boys to men here, where these guys are willing to take a challenge and, give back as much as they're taking, because you could see Everton trying to be a little rough with some of the fouls that they're doing, but the boys never did back down, and they were willing to give just as much as they took.
Yeah, I completely and utterly agree with that.
Yeah, the goal that Saka scored, he's actually, I think 2 or 3 times this season, he's had a play reminiscent to that. Our last game, he actually had the same spin. He just didn't control the ball on the turn and therefore couldn't get the shot off. But I think he might have actually had a goal similar to that not too long ago. So it's something
are you thinking the Villa game?
Yes.
When Jorginho punched that ball into him and he kind of turned, yeah.
And then he lost control of it, but it was exact same play, it was just almost exact same play. He just lost control and couldn't get the shot off. So, James, if he's not world class, he's world class B, because he couldn't be very far from it. He's right there. Look, James, I told you already that I think we're well on the way to winning this thing. Unfortunately, my son is not here with me to give me, but as we always say, up to Arsenal, And come on, you Gunners. I know we can do this. I can't wait for the weekend.
Always great to hear from you. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.
Love to you all. Look, a big thanks to everyone who's joined us for Fan Zone. And look, everyone in the comments who's not happy with me. Just because I'm not blown away by a performance or I have issues with part of it doesn't mean I'm not A, ecstatic we won, B, very complimentary of the things that did go right in the game, and, you know, appreciative of the wider efforts of the team.
No, of course.
But, you know, full time, this isn't full time, it's, you know, let's look back at the last 25 games, nor is it full time, let's look back at the last 20 minutes. There's a 90-minute football match. My opinion of it was I wasn't that impressed for 70 minutes of it. The last 20 we were mesmerising. And if that's enough for some people, that's so fine. But I just saw the game differently.
No,
but what I do know is we've got a very young team, one of the youngest in the league. We've got one of the youngest, most exciting managers, and we're 5 points clear of Man City. And, you know, now it's the end of the show. You can look at the bigger picture and go, wow, you know, what a position they put themselves in. And I have to pinch myself a little bit when I go 25 played and 13 to go. It's felt like with every game, it's been the other way.
It's a massive
13 played, but 25, there's a lot of games.
It's a massive achievement to have this points tally at the start of the season. This is only the third Arsenal squad to ever do it. One being the Invincibles and one being that 07-08 team that kind of fell off a little bit towards the end of the season. Now, I don't want to think about that one too much, but the one I'm looking at is that Invincible season. I know we obviously can't go Invincible with this one, but I'm thinking of the gold. I'm thinking of the gold. And do you know what? The last time I was on one of these, it was the Man City game. Everyone was a bit down, disheartened because of obviously the result. They thought people were catching us. And listening to the fans today, everyone seems to be positive all of a sudden again. And like I said, I think it's only a blip that we had there. I think we're going to have a really strong end to the season.
But this is why context is so crucial, right? Because see, with those 3 games, that blip we had, don't get me wrong, you know, I wasn't happy. I wasn't sitting here going, guys, everything's great. Don't worry. Of course I wasn't. Like, I was worried. But the context of all 3 games, which we did highlight on this channel, and we did make sure to discuss them, you know, on Forever Arsenal, whether it be on this show, whatever. Everton, we had a bad day. We understood the context around the manager bounce and all
Everyone
that.
sort of understood the loss there. Not that it was acceptable.
Yeah, but it was like, right, that can happen.
Yep.
Brentford, you know, we had that goal. We had that goal disallowed.
I'll say it for
stood
you.
for Brentford.
We were robbed.
Yeah, we were robbed essentially. Although they had a lot of good chances in that game as well. And Man City, we played really well. Now, I would be critical of anyone who came out of that Man City game going, we lost 3-1 at home, we've bottled it, we're awful, we're terrible, blah, 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 rather than look at the context of, hold on, but we had chances in that game. Like, we could have been ahead easily. We were the better team in the first half.
And in all honesty, if you look at it, we've played Man City in previous seasons and we've been spanked 5-0. So in the bigger picture, I don't think we did too bad in that.
Well, I remember City fans saying, funnily enough, I think Jack Grealish's goal came in the 70th minute to put them 2-1 up. And I remember City fans saying, yeah, we weren't great. Really, once we got the second goal, we started to take control. But yeah, we weren't great in that game. So, you know, I just think, you know, we look at the whole picture here. But Arsenal are in a superb position, really better than anything I could have imagined, and I am loving every minute of it. And
so am I. I just want to say this is the first watch along and the full-time show that I've been a part of, and we've actually got a win.
It's been a pleasure as always. Frank, big thank you, big thank you, big thanks to everyone who's joined us. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who's been on AFTV Fanzone as well to give their thoughts. Really nice, good-spirited discussions, whether we agree or disagree. That's what it's all about. You know, everyone has different opinions, debating it nicely, and that's what I really enjoy about this show. So big thank you to everyone who joined us. Well done to Arsenal for a massive win. They absolutely took advantage of that game in hand to not only get the 3 points, but add to the goal difference, which, yeah, was still 6 goals behind them, but that is closing the gap. It's a lot nicer than it was going into the beginning of the match today. So big well done to the team. Big thanks to everyone else. Catch out all the fallout from it tomorrow. Well, tonight with the fan cams, tomorrow with Tactical Insight, Invincible podcast as well. The content keeps coming. The games keep coming thick and fast. And we'll be here for all of it. Catch you in the next one.